Welcome to the Engineering Dreams Space Show, hosted by Paul Spain. I am Jess, the CEO of Engineering Dreams. Today I'd like to introduce a space entrepreneur and pioneer. As a co-founder of Rocket Lab, he has helped put New Zealand on the world map for the space industry. This in itself has created an ecosystem for space entrepreneurs, businesses and startups all wanting to be part of this exciting new industry. With a passion for innovation and continuing to be a leader in space and technology, in 2018 he founded Kia Aerospace. Please welcome Mark Rocket.
And when you look at New Zealand and the South Island, where there seem to be some very smart grads coming out of the University of Canterbury, what are your hopes for New Zealand and the aerospace and the broader aerospace sector and new space? How confident are you of the opportunities that exist for us?
Yeah, well, sort of wearing my other hat, I'm also on the committee of Aerospace Christchurch, and there's a group of us industry participants and people working in local government and university, etc. We're all kind of working together to try and help build the local ecosystem here, and also we're moving into national projects as well. So yeah, there's a lot of us here that are really motivated to create a really vibrant aerospace industry in New Zealand and create help nurture companies to employ local people and bring in people that we need to internationally as well. I think New Zealand has a fantastic opportunity to leverage off what we're already doing and move into more aerospace projects. So I think it's a really exciting time. We'll see what happens over the next few years. But if we can attract more companies like Merlin Labs and Whisk, and what if we had 10 Rocket Labs? And what would New Zealand look like then? I think it would be pretty exciting. So and a lot of the people that they'll work at Rocket Lab for a while, or they'll work at Kia Aerospace for a while, then they'll go and set up their own companies. And if we can sort of build this momentum, and graduates from UC and Auckland, etc., instead of them, they only had sort of a couple of career options if they were wanting to get into aerospace. They could go work at Rocket Lab, or they had to go off to another country. What if we gave them the idea, hey, you can actually set up your own startup. You can start up do it. You've got this whole ecosystem here that's going to support you in your bright aerospace idea. What if people were doing that here in New Zealand? And then we've got existing companies that are already working in manufacturing or different elements. They can pivot into doing more aerospace applications. And then we can also attract those international companies, because New Zealand is a favourable place to do aerospace business. We've got the talent, we've got the right environment to make all that happen.
What would be the biggest challenges you think you've had to learn and overcome, during your time within the sector?
Well, there's a challenge every week, Paul. I think it's just keep working through whatever is ahead of you. Just find a way. But I think initially it was just really selling to people that, hey, aerospace is a thing and New Zealand can be part of it. And it has been an evolution, and now we have a space agency. We never used to have a New Zealand space agency. Now we have one, and that's pretty cool. That's sort of laying the groundwork of a space future for New Zealand.
I think you've clearly had a lot of vision that you've held on to quite strongly, because I can imagine it'd be certainly an easy space to sort of give up and sort of feel as though at times you're banging your head against a brick wall, but you've kept going obviously, and have shown a lot of tenacity, and I think that seems to be something that's really required, because there's a lot of breaking new ground, isn't there? As you say, new challenges on an ongoing basis.
Well, even from the early days of Rocket, we had a lot of advocates and a lot of people helping us on our way. So you don't just do this by yourself. Certain people want to become part of your story, or you become the part of their story, or whatever. a lot of people do have a vision for the future, and they want to see something different happen. So yeah, I think that there are a lot of people in New Zealand that are really interested in innovation and seeing where technology can take us. I think we've got a massive opportunity in this country to do things in a different way. We can look at our disadvantages and sort of spin them around and say, how do we actually put this in our favour? And just because we didn't have that large investment and we don't have all of those organisations here, it doesn't mean that we can't work with those organisations or do things in a compelling way that makes people want to work with us.
Now, something that seems reasonably unusual about Kia Aerospace is that you're using solar power, and we have ongoing environmental and carbon footprint types of issues, and I guess at times we could look at the aerospace sector as heading in the wrong direction, but you seem to be heading in a pretty encouraging direction from that perspective. How good do you think are the opportunities to leverage solar in different ways going forward, and electric technology in general? Across the aerospace sector, it does seem as though there's a lot of R&D and innovation in the area at the moment.
Yeah, I think there are certain projects that electric power are really ideal for, especially if we've got all this nice hydro generation down here in the South Island, and if there are going to be opportunities in the future where we get more access at cheaper rates to that hydro generated electricity, then I think that's going to be fantastic. What if we set up some data centers down in the South Island, and we're going to be a data company, so it's going to be really attractive for us if we've got that kind of setup down there, and it's all from green renewables. So I think that's a key part to it, and for the South Island again, and New Zealand as a whole, how do we kind of leverage off that? And we're starting to see electric planes. We've got the first electric plane here with Electric Air operating here in Christchurch. We're starting to see companies that are investing in electric aircraft for their fleets. So I think that's going to be really exciting. And yeah, we're going to see greener fuels for avgas and rocket fuels. But I've actually just been listening to an audiobook by Stephen Hawking, and he's obviously recognised as a genius, and he believes that, or believed that, it's crucial for humanity to invest in the space technology. And, even though it might not be the greenest thing on its own, it'll add up to providing some amazing solutions for humanity in the future. So it's one of those things that we really need to seriously look at. You look at the Apollo program and all the technology benefits that spun out of that. And I think as humanity does move into space, we're going to have to look at self-sustaining systems and doing things in a more environmentally friendly way. And also, as our population growth keeps on happening, we're going to have to find more resources and find new space. So I think it's inevitable that we kind of need to ease the burden on our planet in some way, and space technology is a tangible way to do that.